Back again, children. RMS, root mean square value of AC. I believe those who are looking first time, please watch the previous video, the first video of AC. This is the second part of chapter AC. If you have not seen that, please watch that one and then watch this one. Definitely the chapter will become very simple for you. In the first part, I had given you a lot of mathematical formulae, not many, handful of them, which are very much required to understand this chapter. So if you are not a math student, make sure go through the formula sheet which I had provided in the previous video. Must go through it and then rock. We will make the chapter simple. I will try my best. And I know you people, if you pay little attention, this chapter will be very, very simple for you. So today I am going to discuss root mean square RMS value of AC. The AC which does not depend on direction. Any direction it flows, heat will be produced. So keeping that in mind, the parameter which is independent of the direction, RMS current was used. Otherwise we had instantaneous value of AC, peak value of AC, correct? Last class we discussed average value of AC over a complete cycle which was 0. But for half cycle it won't be 0. And the last one we are discussing RMS, root mean square, which is also called virtual value of AC. RMS value or virtual value of AC in numerical, the most important thing, note down. Whenever a numerical is given about in this chapter, any current mentioned, a current of 3 ampere, that means it is RMS value. Always it is virtual or RMS value. If they mention peak value or current amplitude, then it is I0. Nothing is mentioned, only the value given, current of 3 ampere flows in a circuit, so it is the RMS current. Remember in your brain. So now we are going to discuss how to find RMS value of AC mathematically. So what it means, root mean square, IRMS. Suppose if I have a current I, what is the operation here? Square. So I will square this current first. So that is called square. Then mean means average, average means bar. So this is called average. And the last but not the least, square root. Root means square root. So this is called IRMS. So this is called IRMS. Now how to find this? So again we will start, let I equal. Now this instantaneous value of current, I can take sine function or cosine function, but throughout the chapter we will keep its symmetry as sine function. So here on the right hand side there are two I0 and sin omega t. Out of this, sin omega t depends on time. So I have taken I first. I am going to apply the operation one by one. First square, the last operation was square, so we are squaring it. So when you square, what will you get? I square equal I0 square sin square omega t. And here some of the students, they ask me, so why not sin square omega square t square? No children, omega t is, as I told you before, is theta, angle. So you have learned in class 10 or lower classes sin square theta. So when you do sin theta square is sin square theta. Like if I say sin theta square is sin square theta. We are squaring the function sin. So sin square theta square is not correct, right? Sin square theta. So similarly, if you replace theta with omega t, you will get sin square omega t. So remember, it is sin square omega t, not sin square omega square t square. This is a general doubt from non-math children, and obviously correct doubt. Until we know, this will not be clear to you. So now I hope this is clear. I got the square. Now I have to find average. So average means bar, putting a bar on it, average. Do you remember what I said in the previous video? Whenever I have to find average, what we do? The time dependent term we keep in a special bracket. We keep in a special bracket. So here, this is time dependent term. So I'm going to keep in a special bracket. And now I am going to apply formula, last formula, formula number 6 in that previous class. How to find average? Integration 0 to t sin square omega t dt by t. So I am going to apply that here. All this, if you have not seen the previous video, must watch that one first. And children, please subscribe. Give this one to your friends and your classmates, and please send it to the villages in India. Those who can't afford for coaching and cannot join coaching. I think these classes will make them self-confident. I want that at least you do this much. Ask your friends to subscribe and pass it to the ones, those who cannot afford very costly coaching institutes and all. Not required, any coaching not required. In my videos, I will try to give you simple way to solve numericals too. Watch over it. You will see that there are some technique I will provide you in between. Keep them in your mind. हमें करना क्या है? We have to get marks. That is my goal. At last I should get marks with minimum keeping concept in my mind. Concept is very important to crack any entrance level exam. But there are simple way to get them. If you are good in that, you will save your time. So my aim is to give you that technique so you can understand it easily and you can do the questions in seconds. Especially those who are running away from numericals. This will be a good video for you. Not this one, later also I will make many videos on this chapter, and slowly you will see that chapter becomes simple for you. So this much is clear. Now here, sin square omega t, as I told you, square function of sine we cannot integrate. Square function of sine we cannot integrate. So my second formula in the previous video I gave you, sin square theta equal 1 minus cos 2 theta by 2. What was it? Again I am writing it because that is very important equation. Sin square theta equal 1 minus cos theta 2 theta by 2. I can always write sin square theta in a single value of cos function 1 minus cos 2 theta by 2. So I'm going to see this. I'm going to apply this here. Please pay attention. I naught square by t. This t I have taken outside. Here, integration 0 to t. Now theta is omega t. We know what is theta? Omega t. So if you apply here, what will you get? Sin square omega t. Sin square omega t will be 1 minus cos 2 omega t by 2. 1 minus cos 2, theta is replaced by omega t. So we'll get 1 minus so sin square function we have changed in the single value of cos function, and that is important before doing the integration. ध्यान रखिएगा, it's very important children. I don't know how many of you understand Hindi in between, because I feel that whenever something is given, keeping only one kind of students in mind, not good. If you like me to explain in between something in Hindi also, I will do so. Please write in comment box. If any doubt is there or you want me to thoda sa Hindi mein bhi chalega to good, you should understand it. So this is clear. We will do the next step now. क्या है हमारी next step? What should we do? From here I am continuing up. Now simple thing coming up. This 2 I have taken outside the bracket. This 2 I have taken outside the bracket. Now what is left? Integration 0 to t dt into 1. dt into 1 is dt. How we multiply in outside terms in the bracket? Simplification. So dt into 1 is dt minus again integration 0 to t cos 2 omega t dt. dt into 1 is dt, then dt multiplied by cos 2 omega t is cos 2 omega t dt, and integration 0 to t on both the terms. Simplification, nothing else. Now the one which I say, I will give you some technique, because CBSE knows that normal students cannot do integration lot. So what is the simple way to keep in mind? Whenever you have for a complete cycle, whether it is a sine function or cos function, math students can prove it the same way integration how you do for cos, you will get it 0. But for especially you people, those who are non-math students, simple way, whenever we integrate this term, that gives me 0. Integration of sine omega t, cos omega t, sine 10 omega t, cos 100 omega t for complete cycle is always 0. That is the tip of the day. What is the tip of the day? Integration of sine n omega t 0 to t equal integration of 0 to t cos n omega t equal 0 for complete cycle. I am talking about where n could be 1, 2, 3, any number. That is the tip of the day. Integration of sine n omega t, integration of cos n omega t will always lead to 0 provided complete cycle 0 to t. According to our graph, we can see plus half minus half gives me 0. So therefore it is always 0. That is the tip of the day. So that gives easy way of understanding this chapter. Hope you have noted down this equation. So with that we can say it is directly 0. And integration of dt is how much? T. Integration of dt is upper limit t minus 0. That gives me t. So what we are going to get? I0 square by 2t, only t. Integration of dt is t, integration of dx is x, integration of dy is y, remember. So now t and t get cancelled. I0 square by 2. I got equation 2, average. I have taken after squaring the function I0 square by 2. Sub this in 1. Sub 2 in 1. So what we are going to do? Sub equation 2 in equation 1. So when we keep in that, what we will get? IRMS equal square root of this one, which is I0 square by 2. And that is equal to I0 by root 2. And 1 by root 2 is 0.707. 1 by root 2. Root 2 you know 1.414. The value of root 2 is 1.414. So when you divide 1 by root 2, you will get 0.707 I0. So IRMS equal 70.7% of I0. So IRMS is less than I0, which is 70.7%. This formula is very, very, very important for numerical purpose. IRMS and I0, how we relate. Same thing I can do for voltage, ERMS. Voltage V or E, any symbol we can use. I'll be using it ERMS because in your sample paper also they have given as E voltage. So I will be using it E. There is no compulsion, you can use V also. So if two equations which we came to know today, IRMS, if I do ERMS, it will be E0 by root 2. IRMS, I0 by root 2, ERMS, E0 by root 2. RMS means root mean square. It is also called virtual value. So whenever we have to relate RMS value of current with peak value, this is the formula. IRMS equal I0 by root 2. So hope this IRMS part is clear. The formula is very simple to obtain if you have seen the previous video. So part 2, I hope it is clear to all of you. Next class, we will discuss 3 important components. R, resistor, L, inductor, C, capacitor. What happens when this AC flows through R or through L or through capacitor? Both current and voltage are in same phase, or there is a phase difference between them. What does it mean? What does phase difference means? What does phase means? What is the impact of AC when it flows through R, L and C? We'll try to understand that in simple manner. So my next video will be AC flowing through all these 3 components, and then we will see some combination, and finally LCR. So wait for the next video. Till then, good day. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe and share to your friends. Thank you. God bless you.